you guys want. But I would encourage you guys to be thinking about this particular scenario and what kind of discussions we can have. So, and there's really three things, like, where has this shown up for you? Okay, so like, where does this exist in my world? Where have I experienced success with this? And then what kind of questions do I have? That should open up a really good discussion for us. Is that cool? This is the second to the last of the series of what winners do that losers won't. All right. The boring battleground. So I'm going to read through it, then I'm going to chat for a second, and then we're going to go into those questions. Where has this shown up for you? Where have you had success? And then what kind of questions you have? So all significant victories come from doing simple things repeatedly without burning out or checking out. Everyone handles the exciting parts of life with ease. Generally, nobody's struggling with vacation, food delivery, or binge watching, right? Like, you're not going on vacation doing, oh, I'm bored. You know, that's not typically what we're doing. It's something different. Everything's exciting, right? You know what's weird? Thinking about vacations real quick. You go on a vacation and you're like, what do people do here? And then you go like to this cool hiking place or this really unique like shopping area or this like hole in the wall food shop, right? Yes?
Yeah.
Do you ever do that at home?
No.
When you got guests.
Maybe, right?
Entertain.
T said when you have guests from out of town. What I would say is most of you probably haven't hiked like a quarter of the trails we have here.
None.
You haven't eaten at, you know, probably 10% of the hole-in-the-wall food places around here, right? Like, that'd be an interesting little thing to maybe.
Born and raised in San Francisco, never been to Alcatraz. It's like everybody there.
Me neither.
Francesca said, born and raised in San Francisco, never been to Alcatraz.
Same.
I have been to Alcatraz. Super fucking cool. You should check it out. All right.
You could desensitize.
The actual battleground is boring. It's the boring work that nobody celebrates. The fourth rebuild of your sales process. Actually, think about this for a second. Anyone watch football this weekend?
Yes.
Yes.
Hard to talk about. My Broncos losing. Bullshit.
I hate the Seahawks.
I also hate the
I'm from
Seahawks.
San Francisco, I can't like the Seahawks.
Yeah,
Come on.
yeah. I don't like them because they crushed us in the Super Bowl in 2014, I think, and it was awful. Anyways, everyone's celebrating the game, right? Like even people who don't watch football are celebrating the game. None of those people are celebrating the 500 passes that the quarterbacks make every morning, right? Or the the catches from the freaking jugs machine that those receivers are making after practice, or all the reps they're putting in, all the time they're putting in the weight room, right? Remind me to tell the guitar story that Gary told me. Okay. At the end. The fourth rebuild of your sales process. The daily content that feels repetitive after 200 days. The prospecting calls that all, he says sound the same, I would say all feel the same. The coats of paint are boring. Most people quit because they can't find satisfaction in the mundane. Winners learn to love the boring parts because that's where compounding happens. Boring is the battlefield. Most of your competition will abandon it long before you do. So, Gary Keller was talking to, he's like big into guitars. He plays in the band. Every family reunion, he's playing at Red Day. He plays in his little band with he's got all these famous musicians around him. He's like playing bass in the back. He will tell you he's like mediocre compared to these experts. But I remember he told this story. He had this guy on stage. I don't know who he is because I don't really listen to music, but he's a like super famous guitarist. Like Gary was nerding out with this guy. And Gary was telling a story about it. He's like, that's so incredible, but like you just put in all that work because he was at this concert and he was just going for like 4 hours, and then you know, encore, and they come back out and they keep going. And Gary's like, how do you work so hard? And he's like, this isn't work. This is play.
Yeah.
This is my time to play. The work is the 70, 80 hours a week that I'm spending learning the frickin' song. And making sure my fingers are where they need to be and taking like all my processes. That's the work. In other words, the boring. Right? None of the fans see the, you know, sing the song the wrong way, changing the lyrics, and it sounds bad and all that. You guys don't see that. You just see them, you know, or hear them on the radio, right? Or see them in their video or whatever you do to watch music.
Watch.
Wherever you go watch music?
Yeah. Whatever. You get what I'm saying. But we don't see all the behind the scenes. Right? And that's where the battle is won. All those realtors you see that you're like, man, if I could just be them or sound like them or just have their clients. You're not seeing what's underneath. Right? It's the cliche tip of the iceberg, right? You see the success up top. And then down below is all the grit and the hard work and the boring and the mundane. Okay, so where is this shown up for you? Where you've gotten bored out? Where has this been? Where have you found success in this? And then what questions do you have? Do you have something? Who's got the mic? Did you want to say something, Francesca, and then Michelle?
I think.
Yes, yeah, the mic.
No, I was just saying, just lead gen. Definitely you're gonna find yourself feeling incredibly internally frustrated, especially when you're newer. And so it's just knowing that that's sadly where the magic is happening, and you're not gonna, it's just a long game. If you can get that in your mind, it's lead gen. This is the boring. That's our battleground.
You know, I've as someone who's led real estate agents who have had lead gen I've been leading agents for like about 18 years now. I've struggled with ways to tell them different ways to get them out of the boring. But let me try this real quick from an analogy standpoint. Like, would you say your life has been pretty interesting? Like, if we examined like every single part of your life, like a highlight reel, like, would we be interested? Wouldn't you love to see someone's highlight reel? Like, I'm not just saying like their highlights. I mean, just like all the crazy shit that's gone on in their life.
Yeah.
I want to see
Becky's like,
Francesca's.
I don't want them to see mine.
I want to see Francesca's.
Yeah, you want to see Francesca's? I bet you if you had like a snapshot of like the top, 30 things of someone's life, you'd be like, anyone, you'd be fascinated. You would want to watch that. But then we get on the phone and we're calling someone and we don't even really consider these people human beings. Am I wrong? I mean, when you get on to like call number like 972, it's literally like the Squid Games. They don't have a freaking name. They have a number on their freaking thing. This is call 972. Right? We stop and don't remember that these guys have lives. They have people who care about them. It's someone's daughter or son. They're someone's grandma or grandpa or father or mother. They have goals, they have people counting on them, they have dreams. We don't think about any of that stuff when we're calling 972. So that is something that you've got to keep in check. Like, what if, for those of you with kids, what if this was your kid getting a sales call? How would you want the salesperson to show up? What if it was your mom or your dad or your brother or your sister? What would you want them to do? Like, you've got to find ways to make these people feel special, like you would want to feel, and the people in your world would want to feel, right? Anything else, Francesca? Michelle, do you have anything, or you just said lead gen?
Just lead gen.
Yeah.
Everybody, I think, when I hit a wall after, whatever number you're on, it's just, I just find that mental fortitude to just, bust through the wall, and just keep moving forward, wherever that is, however that is. And sometimes it's just a change of scenery, just doing something different to shift a mindset, to then just, smile and dial.
So Brent, I like Brent's analogy for this. You said hit a wall. He says it a little bit different. Like as you're working throughout the day, you're pouring water into a cup.
Yeah.
And then the cup gets to the brim and it's about to overflow. Right? And he's like, you need to build margin in your world. And you know, he says to go for walks or whatever. I think there's lots of ways that you can build that margin. For me, I don't mind speaking with people, but sometimes I want to speak with people that want to speak with me.
Right.
You know, I'm like, okay, I've talked to them. I've attempted enough people that don't want to hear from me. It's time to call someone that wants to. Mom, what are you doing? Right? Or for me, what really I'm doing is I'm calling my favorite clients.
Right.
And I'll go for a walk, because I don't need to take notes and sit on my computer. I'll get up, put my jacket on, walk outside, call one of my favorite people. And all I'm doing is taking that cup, dumping half of it out or 3/4 of it out. Then I can come back in, I got more room. Right? What else? Where has anyone found success in the boring?
At times.
At times? Why don't we pass the mic up to Ty? Let's hear it. Tell us about a time that you found some success.
Others.
I think I have ADHD because I can hyper focus like a mother, and we
I
had
think that's
had
Asperger's is what that
whatever it is. I have
Just
found
kidding.
success in
is.
it.
Just kidding.
But like I can hyper focus pretty well, and then and so I have found success in the Legion. There's been times where I've had a lot of success in it, where it's probably why I'm partner now. But then the hyper focus goes to something else, and then something else, and then something else, and so that's my struggle.
To sit in the morning.
Yeah, that's interesting. So when you have like, how do you feel like you've gotten into hyper focus on dials, for example, or calling your people?
So when we've had some competitions, and that normally like will kick up like a new level of like excitement for me, just the change.
Meaning not boring, right?
Right, not boring, and so I've been able to like call 5,000 people, or whatever that competition was. I think it was 5,000 people, and it was hard, but it was like I was like a machine. Like you couldn't pull me away from making sure I made those 5,000 dials. I was not gonna fail at those 5,000 dials. So yeah.
Yeah, I think when you have something to pull you through, that's what's interesting. And what you're saying here, this is like a tip, is like, how can you make the boring less boring?
Right.
You know, and we've taught you ad nauseum about the Y triangle, right? And so your big why, the ultimate why is being the best version of yourself. And then your big why is whatever. You know, curing hunger or saving puppies or whatever the hell it is. Then you have the little whys along the way. And another way to put it is gamification. So what Ty's talking about is like, you give me competition, that's fun, I want to win, right? So what if you could give yourself competition every day? Which we've given you countless examples, but I'll just remind you, like, you like to have coffee every morning. Cool, you gotta earn your coffee. Which means I gotta have those 10 one-minute conversations today, or I don't get coffee tomorrow. Or I don't get a drink tonight, like cocktail night. Or I don't get to do my nails. Or I don't get to buy those new shoes. Or flip it, if you think you're a positive person, you're more motivated by positivity, which very few people are. Most people are much more motivated by pain. Right? You'll try way harder to keep someone from stealing 25 grand than you will to go vaping. And it's like you're nine times more likely to avoid pain than move towards pleasure. Just FYI. But if you want to remain positive, then you could do both. You could have the pain of like, I don't get coffee or whatever the thing is. And then you can also have the pleasure of, if I do it for 10 days in a row, I get to buy a new pair of shoes. Or I'm going to get whatever. Something special for you wouldn't get otherwise. Does that make sense?
What about the people who aren't into gamification? What about the people that are not into
Who?
gamification? Like, how do they actually do this without,
Who's that?
I don't know,
You
whoever?
create your own games.
Right, I was
Everyone's game
gonna
is
say,
different.
create your own competition.
No, I'm saying for the people who just can sit in this and don't need there to be a game, are they just weird? I mean, what is
Yes.
it?
Well,
They're high,
can
yeah.
I wanted to talk about this, cause like,
So your question is like, what about those people? You mean
Yeah.
like, how do they do it?
How do they
Is
do
that
it without
your
the game?
question?
have a
Yeah.
habit formed, and I feel like the games create you, like, you know, they create the activity that is the habit that you want. And then the competition's done. We're not always in a competition, but it's like how you create your own little, like mine. I don't want to spoil this because I want to, like, I don't want everybody else doing what I do. But like the reporting, the leaderboard, the Asian leaderboard in FUB, like that to me, I'm like, okay, who's the one above me, and how do I beat that?
Oh, you don't want to have
Right.
to try harder, is what you're saying. I don't want to give everyone a
No,
heads up. I'm
but
trying
also,
to beat them.
everybody start working up because I'm so close. You know, how do I make that top 3 leaderboard?
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, and it's just the little things that, I don't know, maybe my little Asperger's in my head, like, make me focus in on. But I think also in the 7 years that I've been doing this now, it's like, the success that I have is in the boring. That's just plain and simple. Like, I've accepted it. It is a sideways long horse pill that you gotta swallow every day because I enjoy making money, and I know that my lead gen isn't exciting. It's not. Like, and if I try to do the exciting lead gen, I'm not gonna have as much business as I think I deserve.
Yeah, I also think like so what she said, which I think was a little tiny nugget in there, is it might be a habit form.
Mm-hmm.
But you gotta work really hard to instill a habit like that.
Yeah.
It does, you don't accidentally habitually call, 50 people a day every day. Like, that's just not an accident.
Intentional actions.
Yeah, you need to be very intentional with how you go about it. I also think the ability to visualize is massive. I was reading Place sent out this thing, and it was a recap of a book from Steph Curry. Anyone know what his book is? Something shot, I don't know, it's something to do with shooting. But he talks about visualization, and one of my favorite books around visualization is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. It's one of my favorite books. But I realized how visual I am. And when I say visual, I don't mean just looking. Like, I'll write on the whiteboard all the time just because it's mostly not for anyone I'm writing, it's like for me. Just so I can reference and get it out of my head and on the paper. But I can also take it the other way. It's like, okay, when I make these 20 calls, I'm gonna get that one appointment, and I'm gonna change those people's world because I'm gonna help them get a home they didn't think they could get. Right? This lady wants to move, she's got a reverse mortgage, she feels like she's stuck. Like, if I could show you a way that you can move today, would you be interested in moving? Like, what if, like, can you put yourself in their shoes and really empathize with their goals and then help them go achieve it? That, to me, is the game I play, and it's the game I've played for a long time. It's the game I play with you guys. It's like, how can I put myself in your shoes, and what would need to be said to me that would cause me to go get what I want?
I don't know if you guys saw the free solo thing this weekend, the Type A 101
Alex
Alex
Honnold?
Honnold did. And he is big on visualization, so he basically like imagined himself climbing that whole thing.
Dude, I love him. He's amazing.
Like, I was stressed, my palms were sweaty, but
Yeah, I
like, you don't
couldn't
just do
watch
that
it.
by accident either.
I couldn't watch it live. No thanks. You made it? Okay, now I'll go watch it. Yeah.
I'm gonna watch someone's tragic death again.
Yeah. I was like, they're gonna cut the feed, right? And I'm sure the feed's gonna get cut. When he climbed up that first dragon, I'm like, all right, I'm good. I'll watch him at the top. But visualization's massive though, and so I guess I want to hear from that. Is like, first of all, are you able to ground yourself, create awareness that you're actually calling real people who have real goals and have real lives? Can you do that? Yeah, I know you can, but what do you do to make sure that you are? Anyone got any thoughts on that? Or any ideas on how you can do that? Because, correct me if I'm wrong, but we've all gotten into it, we're like, oh, I'm just calling 972 now. Right? I hear it here, oh, I got one more. It's not, oh, I get to talk to one more person and change their world. It's like, I have to call one more person. So what's something you can do? How can you create that awareness?
I feel like everything you gamify it. Because it is, you get bored. I get bored of calling one day, but I gamify it with Rebecca. We both get our nails done. I can't get my nails done until I show her my contacts every day. And I do that. I send
How
her
often do you get your nails done?
every 4 weeks.
Every
So for the following 4 weeks, I have to send her my contact sheet.
Have you missed yet?
The only day that I missed was Friday, and she gave it to me because she's like, I'm in Cabo, it's hard for me to look at my phone.
Oh my god.
It's like you're texting me on your phone, I don't just.
But,
Tell you what, I'll be your partner. I don't give you shit.
but I literally.
I wanna see some ratty nails, or I wanna see a lot of money in the bank.
But
One or the
literally,
other.
I mean, that's what I did with her, and it keeps me accountable to make my calls, but it also gives, I guess, the pleasure of like, the reason, by the time that my appointment hits, I've done, I guess, the work, and most of the time, I mean, I get business out of it.
You probably feel good going there.
No, I do, because,
I-
especially because it's with them, like, you kind of told them, like, okay, you have to hold me accountable to it, and it's more of like, if I don't do it, then I feel like a piece of shit, so.
Yeah, I mean, I would consider every day, right? Like, food tastes so much better when you did your work, right? Like, there's so many different things you can look at. I mean, you can ground yourself in so many different ways. You don't have to wait until you get your nails done once a month. Like, you get home, you're like, hell yeah, I get to spend time with Chava because I did everything I needed to do today.
Yeah.
Versus, oh, I didn't do what I did to do, so hey, Chava, leave me alone, I gotta make calls. Like, that's the kind of things I'm talking about, right? So, I would just encourage you, I mean, this is a really interesting one that you could maybe journal on. Is like, how do I create more awareness? Where do I need to gamify? Who can I get as an accountability partner? Right, I would just start thinking about these things, so. All right, any other thoughts, comments, ahas before we get out of here? Everyone's good? Y'all get it? I'm not Brent, I will stand here for 20 minutes if I need to.
Thanks, Chase.
Thank you guys, I really hope this can help get you into the boring, because the boring is how you hit your numbers, right? So, all right, let's get some gratitude and get out of here. Let's get one, who's on Zoom that wants to share their gratitude? Unmute and shout it out.
I'm super grateful that Kara and Rebecca both answered me when I needed a quick question for an offer yesterday.
Nice, that's Stacy, right?
Yes, that was me.
Beautiful. Awesome. All right, who's grateful in here? Who wants to share some? All right, T, is there a mic over there somewhere?
Grateful that my daughter turns 2 this week on Thursday, and also just like, I don't know, she's been super cuddly, and she's like, love you much, you know, cute. Time flies, so hold your babies.
Hold your babies, even your big ones. Yeah.
Girls,
Damn. Okay, who else? Let's get one more gratitude in here, and we'll get out of here.
Okay, I'll go.
Brenda.
Ty, who or what are you grateful for?
I am grateful that I'm walking, and I'm actually grateful that there hasn't been a lot of snow because I was really nervous about walking in snow. And I'm grateful that I got to see Todd and Haley yesterday for dinner, so that was really nice.
Awesome.
Nice.
Beautiful. All right, guys, have an amazing week. Go do the